You might think that adding just another thing to your already full plate and crazy mom life, busy mom schedule might just break you, and it's completely out of the question for you in your mind right now. But I want to challenge you today and explore why adding a hobby like knitting to your life might actually reduce your stress levels instead of increasing them. So, this obviously is going to require a bit of a mindset shift. So I invite you to get into this episode with me. It's going to be short and sweet, and we're going to talk about what the mindset shift needs to be in order for you to actually enjoy adding something to your life. Let's go. Hey there, Mama. Welcome to the Knitting Mamas podcast. If you're a mom who's tired of feeling exhausted and longing for some well-deserved self-care and rest, you are in the right place. I know that finding time for yourself as a busy mom can feel like an impossible puzzle. But guess what? You don't have to compromise anymore. Hi, I'm your host, Nadine Medina, and just like you, I am a mom, wife, and also a happy knitter. Over my 15 years of motherhood, I have been on a journey to discover how to truly recharge without the guilt and the never-ending quest for perfection. The secret? It's all about progress, not perfection. By focusing on simple routines, natural wellness solutions, and the cozy art of knitting, I found the path to feeling whole and content. And on this podcast, I am sharing it all with you so you can do the same. Are you ready to find simple solutions to set yourself free from mom guilt, to take more time for yourself to truly rest, and to use your knitting skills for a mindful routine that creates space in your life so you can breathe easier? Let's take a deep breath, grab those knitting needles, and say goodbye to mom stress. Together, we'll create a supportive community that encourages you to prioritize self-care while juggling all your responsibilities. Sound good? Let's do this. Hey mamas, and welcome back to another episode of the Knitting Mamas podcast. And today we are going to talk about when you feel like you don't have time to add anything to your life, and all that does is just stress you out even more than you already feel because there is just no time left in your day, right? So I am here today to tell you that I see you, that I've been there, that I still am there oftentimes because there's days when there isn't any time left to add anything. But I'm also here to tell you that we can shift our mindset just slightly and maybe think about it in a different way and see the value of it and see that it actually would be worth making some time in your day for a hobby, for something that fills you up, for something like knitting, which, you know, I'm a big fan of for stressed moms and to use as a self-care tool. But I'm definitely not trying to, downplay or negate the fact that you are crazy busy. And that, at first glance, it might just seem like, oh gosh, please, no, don't tell me I have to do something else. But so one thing that I have learned over the course of almost 16 years of motherhood, which, by the way, is completely crazy. Don't even get me started on really thinking about how long that's been because, yeah, I'm going to get all the emotions here. But something I've definitely learned is that everything kind of comes and goes in seasons. And in the beginning, I didn't really understand that, but now that I've gone through so many different varieties of, being a mom and different ages of my kids, and then do that again and again, because there's 3 of them. One thing I've learned is things don't stay the same. So there might be times when we're so busy that we really can't do a morning routine, or we can't even think about getting up earlier. This is actually a question I get so many times where it's like, well, my kids are so little, they literally wake up the second I try to wake up early. How can I do a morning routine? And I'm like, well, this may just not be the time to embrace that, or at least not for a very long morning routine. It just might not be the time for that right now, but rest assured, there will be a time for it, and it's not very far off. So that is something that I can always kind of find peace in, knowing that all of this is going to change again. And I just recently heard this on another podcast. And it was such a good way of putting it, where it's like, well, we finally seem like we have figured something out in motherhood, and then it changes. So you're like, well, great. Finally thought I had a handle on this, and then it changes. But oftentimes it's something that that stresses us out, like some sort of bedtime ritual, or somebody not sleeping through the night, or whatever it might be, right? I always used to say, this is only for a little while. This is only a phase. This is only a season. It's all going to change again. We're going to have to adjust again. So with that said, the super crazy busy feeling might just be a season. So you might find some peace in the fact that that is going to pass, and you will have a little bit more breathing room in your day again to add something to your life that you actually really enjoy doing. But the main thing I want to talk about today is, number one, changing the mindset of it being just another to-do that you're adding to your list, just another chore, just another have to accomplish thing, and shift your mindset to something that's actually going to fill you up. It's something that's going to make you feel more relaxed, and it's something that's going to help you stand those stressors of your day. It's not adding another stressor to it. It's actually helping you meet all those demands with a little bit more ease. And if you look at it that way, it can really change your mindset from, oh gosh, I just have to do this thing, to, oh, guess what? If I'm doing this, I'm actually feeling more equipped to go through my day a little more with more ease, with more calm, right? So I feel like there's definitely a shift, not only in mindset, but also just in, we can just take a breath. It's not another thing that's going to put pressure on our lives. It's actually something that's going to contribute to our well-being, which we always need to look out for as moms, as hard as it sounds, but we will have to take care of ourselves, of our bodies, of our minds, in order to be the best version of ourselves for our families and for our kids. And it's all going to result in less stress overall. So with that mindset, I really do think that adding a hobby to your life can improve just the way you kind of go at things, right? Like if you feel you have a little bit more control over that, and you have more calm in your life, even if it's just for a few minutes in the day, but you can take a breath and you're saying, you know what, these 15 minutes, that's all it takes. These 15 minutes are for me. I'm going to put some headphones in. I'm going to listen to something calming, or could also be, some crazy, I don't know, rock music, which I love blasting sometimes. If you guys have followed me for a little while, you know that I love me some Foo Fighters. So sometimes that's the mood, and that needs to go in there. But something that takes you out of the crazy, repetitive, all to-dos that you have to do every single day that drive us crazy sometimes, to be honest, and just take you away from that for just a few minutes. Then you can come out of it and you can say, okay, bring it. I'm ready. What else is there today? And just go at it with just a little bit more ease. I wanted to share with you just a few really practical, tangible reasons why embracing this mindset shift is a really, really good idea for you to do. And then find ways to actually incorporate this into your life. Meaning, really look at your day. Like, where are you maybe scrolling, social media or whatever else, emails, something that you mindlessly do, sometimes to escape, just like I just talked about. Sometimes we just have to escape the repetitive, things that we do all day long, or the screaming kids, or the crying, or the whatever else it is, right? And we just want to not think about that right now. But oftentimes we, kind of fall into habits that may not be as healthy. So yes, we use our phone a lot. Is there maybe a time of the day where you can just not do that and instead intentionally take the time, sit down, grab your knitting needles, and just take 15 minutes of that? I'm telling you, it's going to have a much different effect than going on social media and playing the comparison game with other moms that only are going to pull you down further, right? When you think, oh gosh, well, I guess I don't have my stuff together, but everyone out there does. Just think about that, okay? So I want to challenge you to really think about looking at your day and seeing where you are telling yourself that you don't have time to add something to your day and where it's actually true. Because I know that I tell myself a million stories a day about, oh, I can't do that and I can't do this and, this is too much and I don't have time for that. But when I really, really look at it and maybe even write down, oh, this is what I do, this is how I fill my day, there is time. There are 15 minutes somewhere in our day that we can find to do something that we know is going to help us and make ourselves feel better. All right, but what I was just saying, those very specific reasons why this mindset shift is totally worth embracing. Also, you might be hearing some noise. There's something happening like in my neighbor's yard. So just don't mind that. I hope it's not too loud. All right, so a creative outlet, a hobby like knitting. For me, I would always recommend knitting, and you've heard me talk about why knitting specifically is one of those things that I highly recommend for busy moms. But any hobby can provide a creative escape. It can help you divert your mind from any of your daily stresses and act just like a mini meditation when you need a timeout, right? But instead of taking that timeout and doing something not so beneficial, like grabbing your phone, again, grab your knitting needles and make that time count for sure. It is mindful engagement, because they require focus and concentration. And when that happens, it can not only be calming and meditative, but it can also really help redirect your focus away from any of your anxieties and your stressors. And just for like just a little while, if you have to focus on counting rows or looking at a pattern, it eases your mind in those areas of anxiety, of worry, of just feeling like you're behind, all those negative emotions that we go through, right? So I think that's a really great reason to embrace this mindset of starting or incorporating a hobby into your life. Obviously, joy and fulfillment. It has to be a hobby that you like. It can't be something that adds more stress to your life because you're like, man, I don't know how to do this. This sucks. Again, I am here to help you with the knitting. If you'd pick a different hobby, that is completely fine. I want it to be something that you love, that you enjoy, that you really, want to do. If knitting is the one that you want to try out, I'm here to help you. I have a free download for you as well that can help you become a knitter in 10 easy steps. It is my free beginner's guide for knitters, and it is available at the link in the show notes that I'm going to share with you. And it is such a great way to get started. You're going to have a checklist that you can print out, that you can go by. It has all the tools, all my favorite tools with links and coupon codes. It has a bunch of videos that teaches you the foundational stitches. It has everything. So head on over to that link. You can find that downloadable PDF at the link www.thenittingmamas.com/free guide. So I really invite you to check that out if you want to make knitting the thing that you're adding to your life for some well-deserved stress relief. Another reason why I think adding a hobby to your life is so important and really beneficial would be the social activity. And that is particularly for knitting, because knitting you can do it on your own. Of course, you can watch TV while you do it. You can listen to stuff. Some people can read and knit, and I have still not figured out how to do that. So my constant battle is, do I want to read or do I want to knit? But you can also knit together with friends, and that is always fun. I am teaching my daughters to knit so that we can do that together. But you can also, meet up with people or be in a Facebook group, which I'm also offering for you so that we can do this together once a month. So if you haven't checked it out yet, the Knitting Mamas Facebook group is open for everybody who wants to join us. Again, link is in the show notes, or you can head over to bit.ly bit.ly, so bit.ly/knittingmamas. And you will find the Facebook group there. Just come join us. We have another Knit and Chill Circle planned in February on the 20th. This one's going to be in the evening, so hopefully a lot of people are going to be able to join. But that is one of the big reasons why I love knitting, because you can just do it together. You can have some friends join you and just chat about things, help each other out with patterns, with stitches, all the good stuff. And here's one last one that I left for the end because it is so awesome and it blew my mind when I saw it. I didn't even know this about knitting, but hello, knitting can lower heart rate and blood pressure. If that's not a reason to add it to your life, I don't know what is. So let's all shift our mindset to knowing that adding a positive hobby to your life is actually going to be beneficial to you, your health, your wellness, your mind, your family, and your life overall, right? And if that's not enough, then I think showing our children and setting a good example of taking time for ourselves, of not just rushing around endlessly and never sitting down, of giving them the example that self-care is important and balance is important, we show them not only that we deserve that and that we, are good enough and deserving of being taken care of, but also for them, to show them to be a good example of self-love and self-care for our children. So with that, I hope this mindset shift was helpful to you. Again, if you want to start learning how to knit, head over to the link to get your free downloadable guide. It's going to kickstart your knitting journey. And of course, inside our Facebook group, you will get all the support that you need. If you are a seasoned knitter or if you're just beginning, I'm here to help and I can't wait to welcome you in there. Have a great week and I will talk to you next week. Hey mama, I hope you've soaked up some great ideas from today's episode. Remember, a happy mom makes for a happy fam. If today's chat hit home with you, it would mean the world if you could leave a 5-star written review on iTunes. Your review will help other moms discover our community and embrace guilt-free self-care. Also, if you're scrolling through Instagram, why not snap a screenshot of this episode for your stories? Don't forget to tag me at The Knitting Mamas so that I can shout you out on my page as well. Plus, that way we can stay connected and spread the self-care magic. Oh, and have you heard about our cozy Facebook community? It's a guilt-free zone where we share relaxing routines, essential oils, and knitting adventures, and so much more. Come join us today at bit.ly/knittingmamas and let's unwind together. Until we chat again, take care, mama. And remember, looking after yourself is not selfish. It's essential for that balanced life. Catch you soon right here on the Knitting Mamas podcast.